Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast. I am your host, Daya Naef. And today in the studio, we have my longtime friend, Dominic Wallace of Wallace Capital Funding. So glad for you to be here.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
so we ran into each other again at a thing called the Real Estate Coffee House about a week or two ago, and I said, I've got to have Dominic on the show. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
yes. Again, my name is Dominic Wallace with Wallace Capital Funding. We've been in existence. We started in 2002, November 2002, and so what this year, as a taping, will be 23 years old in business.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
So
quite a stretch. What got you into this?
yeah, that's a great question. So, and it was fortuitous. We were at the real estate coffee house. So one of the challenges that I have, and a lot of business owners have, is cash flow.
Mhm.
So I, as a contractor, I had challenges with that. I was going for mainly from doing work on the residential work to doing more work for in commercial spaces. And I was really green at the time. And they were like, Dominic, you got to send this piece of paper called an invoice in, and then we'll pay you in 30 days. And I was like, well, I wasn't accustomed to that because typically, when you finish the work, you
Mhm.
just get, it goes
You get
somebody's
paid.
house, you just get paid right then and there.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was just like, well, can you imagine going to a grocery store and saying, "Hey, I'm going to walk out the door and I'm going to leave this piece of paper called an invoice, and then I'll send you payment later on." What would
Mhm.
the restaurant or the grocery store owner look at you crazy, right? So that was my mind how business works, right? But no, you send this piece of paper called an invoice, and then they'll pay you 30 days later. And so I'm scrambling, normally looking to try to get, pay my guys every Friday because I get paid with the customer right then and there. It's usually never a problem. I found a finance company similar to what we do now, and they said, "Well, yeah, Dominic, as long as you have a creditworthy customer, yeah, we'll front you the cash. You won't have to wait, and then you can pay your guys, and everybody's happy." And so just how I got into it, it was just really just trying to help fellow other contractors. Maybe it's like, hey, I have the same problem. Maybe you can get help with that. The finance company said, Dominic, you send us so much business, we'll pay you a referral fee. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, gosh. And then I started making more money with my referral fees than I was in
Yeah.
my contracting business. I'm like,
Hmm.
this might be a good idea to help a lot of people and get paid. I was like, let's do this. So that's basically how I did it. We started just brokering some deals, and then over time we became our own finance company, got our own lines of credit, and then here we are, almost 25 years later, just doing our best to help other people.
Yeah. Rocking and rolling. Yeah, rocking and rolling. So say I am one of those contractors. I'm, working a trade, working for somebody else or doing subcontracting. How would you help me out?
Yeah. So the biggest struggle, so like initially when I was getting into that, I was just like, I was going from residential to commercial, and at the time I was living in the Washington D.C. area, the DMV area, And most of those businesses that you would contract work with, they would be some large corporation or government agency. And so I'm seeking them to talk to them about getting funding, or getting business. And and they just said, well, Dominic, as a contractor, you have to go through, because we get those that work through the property management, or the management company. And I said, okay. So I go from the owner to the property manager. And then I talked to the property management company. I said, Dominic, because at the time we were a paying contractor, those trades go through a general contractor. Okay, all right. So I talked to the general contractor. The general contractor said, "Oh yeah, we can work with you. Just make sure you send this invoice in by the 20th day, and then we'll pay you either when we get paid or 30 days after that invoice." Okay. And so yeah, so basically, and so going back to the finance guy, just the way we do it is, as long as you have a credit-worthy uh, customer, we'll front you. So it's not about, because uh, the part I didn't tell you, I did try to go to the bank first, and the bank
Mhm.
told me no.
Yeah, that's what
And
they do. That's what they do.
so, and my credit wasn't terrible, but but they wanted some other history and other stuff that I quite had. But based on the creditworthiness of my customer, I could get access to funding. And so, like, same with my buddy. So, and that's a great bit, especially like you have an opportunity, because a lot of times a traditional bank will want to see what you've done in the past, and that doesn't necessarily help you if you have an opportunity right in front of you that you can make money with, or opportunities.
Mhm.
You can go from one opportunity to another, where this type of funding grows with you. As long as you can bring on a great customer, they'll grow with you. And yeah, I mean, we have one client. She came to us, and she, doing pretty well. She got this large contract with the local municipality. And she's
Okay.
like, called me. It's like, Dominic, help, help, help. And then of course I said, what, right? She's like, yeah, I got this opportunity, and she's doing well. She got a building like right around the corner you know uh from Wendy's, this large stadium downtown, and everything. But she's like, yeah, the city for whatever reason normally pays us in 10 business days, but now it's taking 30, 45, 60 days now to get
Oh,
paid. Can you help us out? And I said, well, yeah, sure. No problem. I hear you doing business with the city. The city pays, but
mhm.
pays slow.
No.
So no problem. We'll work with you. But the other thing I asked her, I was like, do you do job costing? And there, you know this from your previous career and stuff. What is job costing? She said, well, wait a minute now. That's like if you have a job in, we'll, we'll say, down New Orleans, or you have a job in Birmingham, and then another job in Montgomery. Each job has its own, we'll call it, income statement, right? You have from comparison from
Hmm.
what you estimated to what your actual is going to be. And she was like, oh, well, I was like, well, let me help you connect the dots to make sure that, because even though she had a good CPA and accountant, when I was looking at her financial history, I couldn't see from job to job how she was doing. So
Mhm.
we help her retool her books so that would happen, because there's a lot of good accountants and CPAs that are really good at making sure that you're paying taxes but that other piece about making sure you're profitable is it's just a different skill
It's
set.
different.
It's just a
Yeah.
different focus. And so we tool that, not just because it was I'm just altruistic. I like her. I did like her, but because the likelihood of if she's profitable, the likelihood that she'll pay us back is a
A
lot
lot
higher,
better.
right?
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we started funding her, and then after a period, several months that came by, the bank called her, and the bank was like, "Wow, we see all this cash going through your account. Do you know what that means?" And she was like, "What? Just more cash going to my account? What?" No, your bank rating has improved.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and that be a lot of times,
Now we will give you some money.
yeah, we're getting some money
We
based
will
on
give you some
how
money.
much cash is going through.
Hmm.
Um, and then the bank and she was like, "Oh, okay." Then the bank was like, "Do can I pull your business credit report?" And she was like, "Well, I don't know what my personal credit scores are. I'm not so keen on what my business credit profile." And as a company, we're a member of this organization called the Small Business Financial Exchange, which basically means that we share information with the association, and then the association sends that information directly to the business credit bureaus, and then all the financial institutions are able to see that information. And so the bank was like, "Wow, your business credit profile has improved." And then the bank was like, "I have one more question. Can I see your financials?" And then of course we have been retooling her with job costing and all that kind of stuff. And then the bank was like, "Wow, your bank rating has improved, your business credit score has improved, and your profitability, your financials improved. Can we finance you now?" And she was like, "Well, where were you 6 months ago when I first asked?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, there's no wrong. I mean, if you want to go to the bank, sometimes they have other services. We don't do deposits, so there's some other things, and we don't do like credit cards, and so, maybe there's some price breaks you can get with other stuff. And then if the bank is acting up, just come back."
Yeah, yeah. You don't need, there's not a one size fits all product or service out there. So definitely. And yeah, it's funny when you have money, people want to give you money. And when you need money, then they don't want to give you money. So this sounds like a great program to bridge that, especially in these industries where you have opportunity that comes up, but not necessarily regularly and on a regular basis of repayment from whatever you're working on now. Yeah, great.
So no, one of the things that I'm working on now, because like we met at reconnected at the real this organization, the Real Estate Coffee House, and about that, the focus is on building wealth by acquiring real estate. And
Mhm.
so, being a former contractor, my goal is not only just to help with that cash flow, but also build wealth. So so even though we've been doing the working capital piece, we also finance real estate. And it could be anything from ground up to renovations to just buying existing real estate and renting it out. So our goal now is not only making sure they have the credit profile um, and working capital they need to grow their business, but help them transition to be able to buy assets or build assets so they can be the owner and rent out stuff themselves. So that's our goal now, not only because one of the challenges that we had learned, so that the reason why that bank eventually gave her a line of credit is because we actually added a credit history that they truly wanted to see. So as we're financing on the real estate piece, we're also building that credit profile so that if you want a line of credit from the bank, you can get it, so you can be in a position to command, because a lot of times real estate, and is really capital intensive, or even just contracting itself. And so having your hands on, lines of credit or just credit with other, maybe let's say your HVAC company, and just being able to buy HVACs on credit so
Mhm.
that you can manage your cash flow, so that you're not having to pull funds from payroll or something else. Because that's usually where I see a lot of contractors get in trouble. They're robbing Paul to pay Peter a lot of times, just to
Just to
just
keep
to,
going.
to do it. So what we like to try to do when we're funding is make sure that they can command terms with their supplier. I mean, it's important for all businesses, because even, well, it's an example like a restaurant. See, if you can imagine, the first of the month, all your bills are, you have to, most of all your bills you got to pay. Maybe you got payroll, you got your, if you're leasing, you got to pay your lease. If not,
Mhm.
maybe your mortgage. Maybe you're paying your taxes, your payroll tax, all this stuff just comes out of the account. Now, the good thing about a restaurant, you hopefully you're selling food and that kind of stuff throughout. But sometimes you don't have enough, you have to build those funds back up. But like if you're able to command terms with your supplier, because a lot of the challenge is, a lot of times, is if you're bringing on like a new vendor, they're going to want you to pay, up front, versus commanding some kind of net 30 term or line of credit with them. So one of the things that we did is working with companies to make sure that they can command terms with their supplier. And the reason why we did it as a funder, they were working with us on mainly making sure that they pay the payroll. But if I can help them also get lines of credit with their suppliers, that's actually less risky for us. So
Okay.
it's a win-win
Hmm.
situation. There's less funds that we have to put out. And so it- going from just that cash flow thing to building the wealth, that's what we that's why I get up every morning. That's what I get excited about.
I
Because
love
I
that.
don't want to be in that, I've been in that situation. I've been there, done that, have a t-shirt. But
Yeah, it's like we learn from our mistakes, but it would be better if we learned from other from other people's
I
mistakes.
mean, because remember, just from your days of managing those relationships or mediating between contractors, owners, that kind of stuff, a lot of times, a lot of that stems from what? Money.
Money. It's money.
Who
It
had
is.
it?
Who has
Who
it? Who
did?
does it? Who doesn't get it soon enough? It's timing.
Yeah.
It's like the funding. It's like like you mentioned, paid when paid and paid in net 30, and then they're still behind, and then they drag it out even more. Yeah. No, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Well, Dominic, it's been great catching up with you today on the podcast. How do people find you?
Yeah, so you go to wallacecapitalfunding.com. We created a YouTube channel where a lot of these cool things uh, on, you just Google Wallace Capital Funding. Soon I'll do a individual, my name, but I've been just trying to boost the company up, with some of the content. But yeah, just Google us and you'll find us. Wallace Capital Funding is the name of the company.
Great. I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming on today. And thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been another episode of the Success Partner Podcast. I'm your host, Daya Naef. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.